The presidential election, where the people of the United States are forced to play history's worst ever game of Would You Rather. Yes, it's even worse than asking if you'd rather make out with your sister or watch your parents have sex. Personally, my parents are pretty hot, so that's an easy one. But whichever way you vote, you gotta admit, both U.S. candidates have been accused of some pretty shady stuff. So, let's take a look at the worst alleged crimes both U.S. candidates may have committed in our list of the 10 shadiest election allegations so far. Number 10. Hillary's emails. Don't worry, Trumpolinis. We've nailed your number one concern straight off the bat. Despite the U.S. State Department releasing thousands of her emails, the controversy over Hillary Clinton's secret private email server still remains. For years, she ran an unsecured email server which was not only prone to being hacked, but also out of the reach of government scrutiny. She claims she never sent confidential information via this server, but this was later proven false, even after her staff deleted huge troves of emails, and the court processes required to confirm exactly what was sent are still ongoing. So whatever she's hidden from the American public, we'll likely only find out once we have a new president in place. The only thing HillDog has admitted deleting was her personal emails. Although to be fair, since this server was located in the Clintons' own private basement, most of these were probably just spam sent to Bill after he signed up for those stain removal websites. Number 9. Trump's tax fraud. In the second presidential debate, Donald Trump acknowledged that he used a $916 million loss reported back in 1995 to avoid paying tax for the next 2 decades. You or I might feel a little uneasy claiming tax relief for a work laptop that's mostly used for gaming and porno, but the Donald, he doesn't give a damn who catches him defrauding the American people because he's rich. He'll always get away with it. Trump has repeatedly refused to hand over his tax records, and if he continues, he'll be the first presidential candidate in 4 decades not to do so. So what is he hiding? Well, we know Trump has been bankrupted on 4 occasions, but this doesn't mean he's short of a dollar. Corporate bankruptcies like this are often deliberately engineered in order to acquire tax relief. It's something a lot of businesses do, and Trump alluded to this by claiming he's just playing the game. But do you want a U.S. resident who's playing this game, or one committed to blowing the final whistle? At number 8. Benghazi. On September 11, 2012, the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya was overrun by attackers, and 4 Americans, including Ambassador Chris Stevens, were killed. This assault happened during Hillary Clinton's stint as U.S. Secretary of State, and she has been accused of failing to protect her country by ignoring advice which could have prevented the attacks, later claiming these incidents were spontaneous rather than something she was forewarned of. The House committee investigation absolved Clinton of any blame, instead criticizing security at the American facility in Libya. Most Republicans have now diverted their attention to HillDog's other scandals, such as her links to big banking firms, her conduct as a criminal defense lawyer, and the accusation that she's been complicit in the torture of American people through her continued use of non-dank memes. 7. Racial discrimination. Rich old white guy turns out to be a racist. Get out of town! No, please, literally. If you're black or Hispanic, you need to get out of town, according to Donald Trump anyway. In 1973, Trump and his father Fred were sued by the Department of Justice for refusing to rent to non-white tenants. Lying to blacks and Latinos about the availability of apartments, they demanded renters sign up to harsher rental conditions and terms than those required of white tenants. The Trumps settled with the government eventually, but considering his remarks on Mexicans, Muslims, and his refusal to distance himself from the support of former Ku Klux Klan leader David Duke, I think it's safe to say that most black people want a Donald Trump presidency as much as they want separate black guy bathrooms and another season of the Cleveland Show. At 6. The Clinton Foundation. The Clinton Foundation was originally set up by Bill during his time in office, and its charitable efforts include boosting public health services, helping child development, and promoting small business. But amongst claims that money donated has not always reached its intended recipients or done much good when it has. The most damning accusation against the charity is that Clinton used her time as Secretary of State to attract funding for it, and that many donors, including foreign governments, may have been able to buy influence with Mrs. Clinton through their philanthropic efforts. One New York Times investigation even linked such activity to the sale of American uranium to Russia. Yet the State Department has said they have no issue with the charity or Mrs. Clinton. But when the Clinton Foundation's workings are about as transparent as a sheet of lead, it's no surprise there are still questions to be asked. In at number 5, the Trump Foundation. On September 30th, 2016, New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman instructed the Trump Foundation that its fundraising efforts were illegal and that they should desist immediately. This is due to a number of scandals involving the charitable group, such as Trump using its money to settle the Donald's own legal issues, buying gifts for himself, and acting as a money laundering service to help him avoid income tax. But perhaps the most notable accusation is that Trump donates barely any of his own money to an organization with his own freaking name on it. The Washington Post's David Farenthold has revealed that the charity repeatedly processes cash given by others and repackages them into donations in Donald Trump's name. It's like borrowing $20 from your mom to give to that hobo at the bus station. She's the one who deserves that gross gummy smile of gratitude, not you. At 4, the death of Vince Foster. Vince Foster was a deputy White House counsel who worked with Bill Clinton during his time in office, until, that is, he seemingly committed suicide in July 1993. Foster's death has come under scrutiny due to his reported links to the Whitewater and Travelgate scandals, which occurred during Bill Clinton's presidency. And in 2016, it was revealed that the FBI had some rather sensitive information on the issue, some of which related to Hillary. A week before Foster's death, Hillary Clinton apparently humiliated Foster in front of White House staff with a vicious verbal tirade. But curiously, further files on Clinton's interactions with Foster, including field reports by FBI agents, have mysteriously vanished from the National Archives in College Park. So what was so damaging within these reports that they merited being spirited away by unknown intruders? Number 3. The Mafia. Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist David K. Johnston has been investigating Donald Trump's ties to the Mafia for decades, and he believes he's found evidence to suggest that Trump may have been and may continue to be in the pocket of the mob. During the 70s, he claims Trump bought overpriced Mafia concrete from Anthony Fat Tony Salerno and Paul, I have no unflattering nickname, Castellano, in exchange for cooperation from the workers' unions. There are also purported links to the Gambino family via a man called John Cody, who helped acquire a $3 million loan by Trump in return for his help providing concrete trucks during the construction of Trump Tower. Furthermore, for a man who seems to dislike illegal immigrants, Trump's apparent solicitation of non-union illegal alien Polish workers via the Mafia in 1979 doesn't look too good either. And at number 2 and number 1, sexual assault. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton have been accused of various levels of involvement in sexual misconduct scandals. And if proven true, it would be a dark stain on the American people if either were elected to office. Hillary's accusations revolve around her role in covering up the misdeeds of her husband Bill, rather than her own wandering lady hands. Although, it would make for some sweet justice if on her first day in office, Hillary bent a hot male staffer over the Oval Office desk and introduced him to the Hill Doggy style. How easy is it to get stains out of a pantsuit anyway? Bill's accusers include Juanita Broderick, Kathleen Wiley, and Paula Jones, who charged the former president with various offenses, ranging from grope and exposure to full-blown rape. Hillary has been painted as an enabler of Bill's felonious actions by one of her husband's consensual partners, Jennifer Flowers, with whom Bill had a 12-year affair. So, are these accusations true? And if so, what does Hillary know about them? With regards to Donald Trump's sexual misconduct, we know considerably more thanks to direct quotes from the man himself. The recent hot mic tape of Donald admitting that he forces himself on women was bad enough. But now, you just know the phrase "grab her by the pussy" is going to make for 2016's most awful viral catchphrase. Trump has also been accused of making aggressive sexual approaches towards Miss World contestants, and is even facing a trial hearing for the alleged underage rape of a 13-year-old girl in 1994. But the most damning report comes from his own ex-wife Ivanka, who accused Trump of raping her during their 1991 divorce. She has since backtracked, saying it wasn't a rape in a literal or criminal sense. Oh, okay. I guess it was one of those friendly, cuddly rapes you perform when you truly love someone. And you know what? We've not even touched upon the creepy-ass comments Donald Trump has made about his own daughter, Ivana. That's because we're aware some of you may be eating while watching this video. And whether Democrat or Republican, the one thing all of us respect is the right to eat your dinner. So anyway, that's our list of the 10 shadiest election allegations so far. Did you enjoy it? Were you impressed that we didn't make a single joke about Donald Trump's tiny hands or weird haircut? Sadly, human nature dictates that you'll all take whatever you wanted to take from this video. Confirmation bias. It means Trump supporters will see this as an attack on the Donald, and Hill Dog fans will see it as an assault on her character. But if you're going to call us Clinton cucks or Trumpelstiltskins in the comments below, at least do so in all caps so we know you're super serial.